The process begins in TUKAdesign, where the pattern maker will open up a block with predetermined grade rules already set on the block. Here I'm selecting a base size 4, and I'm going to load the file directly into Tuka 3D. The first step is select the fabric, so I'm selecting a denim fabric, and now I'm going to load my fit model. So I go into my library of models and select the model, and here she is. Now we begin by selecting the panels and placing them around the body. Notice here I can manually drag the pieces around the body, and then since these are very big panels, I'm going to curve them around the leg. So I'm putting a bend value. So here I can bend the pieces, and I'm going to take the front panels and do the same. I'm going to bend them, and here I'll take the waistband, put it in position, and I want that to wrap around the body as well. The next step in the process is to electronically sew the pieces together. Here I'm creating stitch lines between the panels. I'm simply selecting the segments and creating the stitch lines. And you notice I can hide the model, and that gives me an easier selection of my stitch lines. Now we're entering drape mode. You notice here all the panels have come together and we're applying gravity. This is where all the physical properties of the denim fabric have come together, and we can see the final output. Now if you'd like to save this final output into a movie, we can set this up by first lining our camera. You can see we can set our camera position and choose the frame where we want it to start. And I'm going to set up my light scene as well. So here I'm creating my light settings, and then I'm going to select what kind of format to save this in. So I select my format, save the file, and I'm going to render this into a 360-degree view. So after I hit render, you will now see in the dialog my 360-degree view final output, and this can be saved into an AVI file or an Apple QuickTime MOV file. You notice here my size 4 is a little bit too big on my model. So back in design, I'm going to go to grading. I'm going to switch from size 4 to size 0. And let me close this. And now I'm going to simply go to the eFit menu, update my file, and the pattern will get loaded from size 4 to size 0. And we repeat the process of draping. We don't have to stitch and we don't have to arrange the pieces. That's all stored in memory. I simply have to redrape, and now we can analyze the size 0 compared to the size 4. You can see that it's quite a big difference. This is a much better looking garment. So this is the beauty of the system. If I want to go and see the largest size, I can quickly switch my size. Here I'm going to take the size 12. I'm going to update this to eFit. And again, we are redraping, so now we're going to see the size 12 on the model. So you can load any size, check your grade, you can load any fit model during the process, and you can simply see what this garment is actually going to drape and how the fabric is going to behave. So here is my size 12. This is the final simulation, and you can obviously see it's very baggy and very loose. So finally now I'm going to switch back to my base size 4, and I'm going to make a pattern adjustment. So here I'm going to hide my grading, and I'm going to update this first back to 3D, and now I'm going to increase the inseam length. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select my panels, and I'm going to add 2 inches in length. So here I'm going to type in 2, and I'm going to update this file. And once the file is updated, we can see that the panels are longer, the hem is longer, and we're going to redrape. So by starting with a digital pattern file, you can really see the power of having 2D and 3D working together. You can edit your pattern in 2D and see the changes live in 3D. So now you see the drape is finished and the hem is obviously longer.